everyone, welcome to GameMate's guide to beating Margit The Fell Omen. Margit is the first major story boss encounter in the game. He is a major challenge that not only tests the skill of the player, but also how much of Limgrave the player has explored. He can be encountered early in the game if one chooses not to stray from the paths revealed by the Sights of Grace. Because of this, players may run into him with less than ideal stats and equipment. If this boss proves to be too difficult due to lack of damage output or defense from your own character, there is no shame in doing something else, because the game encourages exploring somewhere else to strengthen your character to fight this boss at another time. Attacking Margit the Fell Omen from the front is incredibly difficult due to how aggressive he can be with his own attacks. Like most bosses, managing to land a hit on Margit while he is attempting to launch an attack will not interrupt him, leaving him still capable of landing hits on the player. Instead, divert your attention to attacking from the back, particularly the tail where he is most vulnerable. If using the Lone Wolf or Jellyfish Ashes, the combined assault from the wolves and the player will be enough to stagger him, giving the player enough time for a riposte attack that can do massive damage to Margit. It is important to give yourself time to study Margit's attack combos. Margit the Fell Omen has a ferocious moveset that he will aggressively use against you with little rest in between. It is difficult to tell where his attack runs will end as he can mix up attacks to extend his combos. It is highly suggested that you stick to rolling or dodging out of the way of his attacks, and use blocks sparingly when you have little room or choice. Getting the timing right will take a while, so give yourself time to adjust to the rhythm of his moveset. Patience is a major factor in this battle, as getting caught in one of Margit's attack runs is enough to essentially stun lock you to death. Save your stamina and only push inwards for attacks when you have an opening. Now that we've shown you a run of the fight, let's dig deeper into the specifics of his moveset. Margit uses a cane slam where he slings his cane over his shoulder with both hands before slamming it back down for a heavy diagonal attack. This is very slow and easy to dodge, but take note that he can easily follow up with any of his other attacks afterwards. Margit is often vulnerable before he does the initial swing, so get a few hits in before returning to a safe distance. Margit can wind up for 2 swings with his cane in the event that you're too far away when he charges for a cane slam. These cover a wide area, so dodge inwards before he reaches you, then move in a few steps towards the direction you dodge to avoid a follow-up swipe. Margit is always open to 2 hits after successfully avoiding this move. Margit can also throw a dagger at you and follow it with a cane swing and a hammer strike that closes the distance. The daggers can be easily avoided by moving sideways, but always stay alert for whatever attack follows. Margit can also use his dagger to swing at you twice in a row. During the second phase, he adds an additional swing to his attacks with the sword. This is a move that often follows whenever Margit stabs his cane into the ground, especially when the player is in close proximity. Margit is also capable of swinging his tail depending on your position. You can dodge inwards just before the attack hits to avoid this. You can expect him to do this if ever you find yourself behind him. It is also advisable to simply back away if you think he'll counter you with this move. He is also capable of doing a backward hop. This attack is usually followed by a sword or dagger throw. In rare cases, he'll start to charge up for a hammer or cane slam. At 50 to 60% of his health, Margit will start to utilize his magic hammer and sword. Margit can conjure his hammer and jump high up in the sky to slam it down to the ground, damaging anyone near the impact. He always tries to use this move whenever he transitions into his second phase. Run away from him and dodge backwards to avoid the large area of effect of the impact. However, you can also dodge into his attack to be able to land a few hits. The trick is to roll into him as he starts to descend into the ground. Mastering the timing of this is one of the best openings in the second phase of the fight. Be careful not to be too greedy when countering him because he can quickly recover to another swipe following this move. Be mindful of his longer range and higher damage. Utilizing your character's invincibility frames when continuously rolling to avoid this attack will be difficult for some players. Remember not to linger too closely to Margit in the second half of this boss fight in order to make it easier to avoid this combo. Margit the Fell Omen is indeed a difficult boss. Give yourself time to master countering his various attacks and rhythm. Make full use of allies like the Spirit Ashes to give you more opportunities to strike. This is a boss that has a big spike in difficulty due to how early you can encounter him. There is no shame in coming back at a later time. One of the best things about Elden Ring is how you're given the freedom to turn back and explore the lands between to gain the necessary experience, equipment, and spells to be able to eventually face any foe at even ground. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide useful, give this video a like. If you want to tune in for more tips, tricks, and guides to Elden Ring, subscribe to our channel. How about you? Do you have any advice on how to beat this boss? Any secrets perhaps? If so, leave us a comment down below. See you again soon, my fellow Tarnished, and do not lay these foolish ambitions to rest.